I'm here to be entertained. I have absolutely no intention to purposely hate a product or someone. So, without any preconceived notions, I went into watching Sardar Ka Grandson, hopefully to get a great laugh and possibly a carefree viewing experience. The film, directed by Kashvi Nair, focuses on Amreek Singh, played by Arjun Kapoor, who visits his family in Amritsar as his grandmother, Sardar, played by Neena Gupta, is unwell. Her last wish is to go to her home in Lahore that she built with her own hands with her husband. Amreek devises a plan that involves structural relocation of the establishment, basically to transport the house from Lahore to Amritsar for Sardar. Seems like a pretty straightforward story, right? You would assume that this is going to be a fun ride. I mean, it has Neena Gupta in it. Who doesn't love her? Well, why don't I just get to talking about the film then? Here's me telling you the good and bad aspects of Sardar Ka Grandson so that you guys can ultimately decide whether it is worth your time on Netflix or not. The good. Neena Gupta and Aditi Rao HYDARI. If there is anything that will motivate or influence you to take the decision of watching this film, it is hands down Neena Gupta as Sardar. There is no doubt about the fact that she is the hero of this film. She is a legend in her own right. The more I read up about Neena Gupta and her journey, it makes me respect her as an artist even more. Working in the 80s, especially for women who had a keen eye for compelling content, wasn't easy in any way. While actors like Shabana Azmi and Smita Patil gained national prominence, Neena Gupta never really got her due, despite her impressive work. To see her actively working in the business post Badhaiyo really does make my heart happy. To see that the Hindi film industry is actively creating stories for that age bracket and creating a platform that can showcase a talent like Gupta. Neena Gupta as Sardar is one of the most interesting aspects of the film, if not the only. She is always on the edge, is constantly referencing her will if ill-treated, is a child from within and calls out the BS when she sees it, as most grandmothers do. Neena Gupta is such an effortless actor that I definitely saw several moments of my own grandmother pop up whenever she goes on a rant of wanting to go to Lahore. If you are loyalists and huge fans of Neena Gupta, then it would make sense to watch this film, even though she comes in and out of it rather than what we would have wanted for her to be the protagonist. Okay. Now the bias will slowly creep in because I'm going to be briefly talking about Aditi Rao HYDARI. Every time I see her in a film, a voice haunts me.
Simp! You're a simp.
Okay, moving on. She has formed a niche of portraying the young version of aged characters in Bollywood movies. She is so sweet in this film, and despite what creeps in, which is what Bollywood thinks what Punjabis talk like, which may irk many people, her chemistry with John and just her infectious smile and exuberance really makes my heart melt. It would be lovely to see her in lead roles in films ahead because she has the ability to leave an impression with her smallest appearances. The underwhelming aspects. The trailer. I have such an issue with the film's trailer. What do I have left to see? You gave me the reason why Arjun Kapoor comes back to Amritsar. You told me the want of Sardar to go to Lahore. You told me the planned device to meet Sardar's need of structural relocation. You gave me a glimpse of the Punjabi household. The trailer leaves absolutely nothing to the imagination of the audience. I mean, we all know there's going to be a happy ending. The purpose of a film's trailer is to pique interest rather than providing a summary of all the beats of the film. I am of the firm belief that the trailer actually did a disservice to the movie, as the hype around it resulted in something extremely lukewarm, because there is already an expectation of how it will start, carry on and conclude. The music. The music director of Sardar Ka Grandson is Tanish Bagchi. Where I can give the man credit in the album that he has designed for the film is the song Dil Nahi Todna, which appears in the introduction of the film. A song beautifully performed by Zara Khan and Tanish Bagchi. But dude, the rest of the album is just remakes, as is usually the case when it comes to Tanish Bagchi soundtracks. I don't think this trend is going anywhere until they have completely exhausted the discography of our history. The dance number in the film Jeeni Karda is a remake of the song Dhoor by Manaki that released in 2008. Main Teri Ho Gayi, another romantic track of the song, is a remake of the song that released in 2017 with the same title. Thankfully credited here. Another year, another album of remakes. It isn't stopping anytime soon. Punjabi dialogue delivery and stereotypes. Sardar Ka Grandson is the perfect example of the Punjabification of Bollywood that audiences are getting tired of. In one of my videos of unpopular opinions, one of the top comments was talking about how the portrayal of Punjabi families and love story is getting exhausting in commercial Bollywood movies. But I think with this film, it really tests the patience of the audience and will definitely irk Punjabis themselves. The saddest case of Sardar Ka Grandson is that it is not funny. something that should have probably been its biggest crowd puller. One of the main reasons for this is because the writing of this film is extremely rudimentary in nature. You've got kiddish dialogues like gentle naam hai or sab hai mental, or my favorite, banda hu ya bandar. You've got gags with the same intellectual capacity of the Three Stooges or Home Alone. I mean, if catching a fish mid-air with your mouth is comedy, then I don't think I'm on the same wavelength of what is considered to be funny. Before I get to the dialogue delivery, the movie perpetuates the same tropes of Punjabis constantly at loggerheads with each other, are fans of Harbhajan Singh, and wanting a peg every second. Every time there is presumably a comedy scene, a dhol plays in the background. Are? Why? Are Punjabi yaar, brah. Yeah, that's the perception. Every time I heard the characters in this film speak Punjabi, I got reminded of Vishnu Kaushal's video on the same topic on Instagram.
ओ तूने मुझे गाली निकाली खोते थे पुत्र ओ बल्ले बल्ले शाबा शाबा आहू आहू भाटिया साहब मैं तो कहता हूँ एक पेग शेग मार के चलते हैं.
Buzzwords are utilized to communicate authenticity. If by saying changa, horki, ethe, apna, kakke and oho, I can get a stamp of approval by Punjabis, then the bar is really low on the effort that is made to represent a community. If you want to see an accurate representation of the Punjabi community, it's not actors saying chal jhutti. It's the performances in films like Meel Patthar and Kissa. If me, a non-Punjabi speaker, was cringing at some of the dialogues, then I can't even imagine what Punjabis were feeling while listening to the dialogues delivered in this film. Arjun Kapoor and his range. Arjun Kapoor, before I talk about his performance, I have to tell you that I want the dude to do well if he is working on something. I really connected with his stoic and overbearing physical presence in a film like Sandeep or Pinky Farrar. But I've realized that I can't keep on fighting this. Arjun as an artist just doesn't possess range. His expressions other than smiling doesn't change one bit. So whether it's disappointment, anger, wonder, it all looks the same. There are moments where he breaks down in this film and it's shockingly unconvincing. You know, even commercial actors like Akshay Kumar or Saif Ali Khan have this cheekiness and comic timing, which makes even an average comedy seem like gold. Arjun just doesn't possess the charm or the wit required for a film like this. More than that, anything that requires Arjun to cross borders, I know it isn't going to turn out well. I mean, if you want to see Arjun Kapoor's rendition of Wrecking Ball, maybe this will interest you. It's sad because this is a story which could have been a potential carefree entertainer, but its execution is so sloppy that in comparison, I even found average films like Chhalang and Suraj Pe Mangal Bhari more entertaining. If you have a deep love for Neena Gupta, then maybe that's the only reason why you would be motivated to watch this movie. Otherwise, honestly, I would recommend you to watch Cinema Bundy on the same platform instead. A film that genuinely is a sweet, carefree and beautifully executed film. Unlike whatever Sardar ka grandson turned out to be. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you thought about the movie. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.